All right, everybody. So we've gone live. I know I'm waiting on people to get in, do their things, to get settled. It's interesting because my TikTok still says that I'm building the Lego set from the Durr Burger, the Fortnite Durr Burger. That Durr Burger was so long ago, and it's been like updated since then, like really updated. But the AI still has it thinking that I am building the Durr Burger. But that's actually not what I'm building today. Not at all, okay? Actually, what I'm building today is this big old guy right here. This is the Mould King creative idea. It is the F1 Racer. 1,603 pieces. So we're obviously not going to be able to build it all in one setting. That's just not possible. Consider 14 up. There's a lot of Technic stuff with this, which I'm super excited about because I don't get a lot of Technic sets that often. So for me, I'm like, yeah, I like this idea, right? It's got the racer. It's got a wheel carrier. It's got a wheel staging, and it's got it's like a pneumatic pump and engine cart. So it's got all this cool stuff. It's got a racing light, a flag light, a flag. Awesome. And this thing is a 1/6 scale. So if this is in scale to the G.I. Joe classifieds, okay? Kind of, we'll put it like that. This racer will probably be about. Wow, I'd have to back out for that one. Yeah, this is. I'd have to back out because that is going to be a massive. It'll be like that big or so. It'll probably be about as long as this box. So that's already like that's pretty big. That is a ginormous piece. Now this is Mould King. We've done Mould King before. We've looked at it. There's some pretty interesting stuff here. Some already looking at some pretty cool building techniques. There's areas here which I think pop off to show like the engine. There's going to be like tubing for intakes, exhaust. Looks like some sort of kind of built engine block in the back, which we like, which I think would be kind of cool. So, yeah, we'll look at. I've already pulled the book, and I figured today we'll probably look at least bags 1 and 2. We'll get through those, okay? 1 and 2, which is from pages 1 to about 64. We might get into bag 3. I'm trying to figure out if we're going to get into bag 3 or not. But I figure a couple days to work through this would probably be the best thing, okay? Because we've got 65 through 90 for 3, 91 through 104 for 4, 105 to 123 for bags 5. Now, we'll start off on 1. We'll go 1 and 2, and then we'll kind of figure out like where we're going to go. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you my voice is really rough right now. So I'm for me for my where my voice is and everything, it's in a rough spot. So you gonna have to bear with me here because I'm gonna be probably not the grandest thing to listen to today. It's been a week, man. Been a week. Stressful, crazy, been a week. But I'm going to get through it. All right, so here we go. That's 5. Got wheels. I don't think we're dealing with any wheels yet. Got more wheels. We've got, let's see, what is this? 5. So 1, 4. Got some small wheels. I'm not sure what that's for yet. Got some tube. Not sure what that's for yet. What is this? 4. 2. We'll kind of put 2 over to the side. 4. Like I said, some of this we won't get to yet. Hey, OS1, how are you? Another 2. We'll put that off to the side. Let's see. What is this? 1. 3, another 1, and another 3. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put anything that is 5, we'll put back in the box. 4s will go on top of that. Okay, another 5 goes over here. Okay, so 3s will go next. 1 and 2 of these 3s. We'll put wheels. Boom, boom. Wheels and tubes. We're going to have them up on top. Hey, Captiano. And then 2 we'll put on top of that right there. Boom. Okay. So, I'm going to close that into this box. But people are going to ask, what are we building today? And I'm going to move these things over. Boom. And boom. And we'll put the box right there. So, you can't see it on the YT, but I've got it here on my TikTok YT. It's in the description up there. So, we know what we got. Oh, hey, look. Ultimate Reaper. What's up, my man? Hello. Vroom, vroom. That's a lot of 1. Yeah. You're building the F1 car. Are you doing the Mould King one? Because there's the Mould King. I was surprised because this set was like $18 and it's 1,600 pieces, and I haven't seen anything. Oh, the Technic Red Bull. Yeah, that's a good one. This is an endless, so kind of off-brand, but I'm guessing it's supposed to be kind of based off that. I found another one that I was looking at that was it's not Mould King though. I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. It's in my watch list right now. Around about 20 bucks. Minifigs look kind of wonky, but it looks like it might be kind of a fun build. So I'm actually thinking about looking into that one. We'll see what we could do. But this is our Mould King build. So I've done Mould King before. I've had a Harbor piece. The Kata, yeah, no, Kata's a great company. There's some of their Japanese shops I'm looking at right now. They remind me a lot of Rio Bricks. And Rio Bricks, I finally got my hand on some Rio Bricks sets recently. I built the lightsaber. It was a green lightsaber, which I thought was kind of cool. All right. So here, I'm going to pull, let's see, big plates and pieces, I'll pull over here. Small bricks, I'll pull over here. So we'll kind of separate them if we can. So, plates and plates and plates and plates and bricks and bricks. If it's anything over, if it's 4 and over, they're going to stay over here. If it's anything smaller, it's going to go over here. Like this. Look at that. That is a 1x16. That is massive. Absolutely massive. Okay. So, this is surprisingly what I read about this. This thing is basically a 1/12 scale racer. And what that means, it'll be the size of G.I. Joe classified figures. So, it'll be pretty big. Let's see. Ultimate Reaper says, I ordered the Alfa Romero and the Kick Saber. Ooh, 1/8 scale. From Cat. I'm waiting for them to release more of the Alpines. Nice. Nice. Do you know what the release dates on those are? Hey, Marjana, how are you? Brad, what's up? Nope. Yeah. That's usually, unfortunately, with a lot of the kind of the thing of the indie companies. Limit Bricks has gotten a lot better. They, especially being because I'm in what's called their KOC program, Keeper Content. I'm trying to rise my order up just a little bit with them. But one of the things I found is that most of the time release dates are all over the place. You never know what the release date's going to be because it's kind of up in the air. Absolutely up in the air. All right. And that's okay. Well, when it comes out, it comes out. Are they doing pre-orders on it or are they just kind of letting it run by ear? We're going to go 4 down. We're going to drop this right here. Okay. So we're starting off with a 2x16 and a 2x4 on there. We're going to go with a 2x10, 14, 12, and 10. Here's the cool thing. Yeah, it's not teased on their Insta page. It looks sick. I bet it does. But it does. You know, here's the thing. People, I've had some people like kind of joke around. They're like, that tattoo is ridiculous. But you know what? When I've got a sea of pieces and I'm not wanting to count every single one, that makes finding a part so easy. Look right there, 2x10, already set. I've got actually a another Technic bar graph that I was thinking about getting either here in reverse or here, but it's the Technic bars that those sizes. It's got the numbers by them, so I might be running it up kind of over here, so I can put my bars down and see like so like Technic bars. I mean like these. So these are like the little Technic bars. So like this, I could lay it down and go, oh hey, that's a number 8 or whatever, and kind of move on. Why do I need it for the bars? Well, because honestly, there are times, you know, there's no indication usually about bars. You have to hold the bars up to know the sizing based off of this. So if this is a, I mean, I guess I could go here. They're a little bit shorter though, but that would be number 8, right? So they're based off of how many holes per here. So if that's 5, other hole will go here. That's technically, I think, an 8 or a 7. But if I had the bar graph here, I could just measure it out. I could put it on my table, but you know, I want more tattoos, right? They always have a 1-to-1 scale and instructions. Sometimes, so in recent sets, yes. In recent sets, for the most part, yes, but not always. Or they'll have it, and they'll have it a few instruction pages back. You know, hey, Reaper, it's just a way for me to get more tattoos. And also, one of the other things is if I'm in the hunt for pieces of parts at like my local minifig store where they have like resale parts, that makes it easy for me to find the parts without having to carry instructions in my pocket with a graph in my pocket. I got on my arm, which I have technically already used when I went to the minifig store recently because I needed some plate sizes, some specific plate sizes. So I went and was measuring them up as I was digging through. For us, I know like the bin is huge. It's huge, full of just whole bunches of random parts. And so I was able to dig through and find what I needed. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna put those there. I know that the Daytona SP, oh yeah, the Scion and all the F1 Legos release have to do. They have it for yeah. So far, Mould King does have a scale here. So they do have a scale that is technically a number 7. So I was right. It's almost 8 studs, which means it's 7 Technic holes, which makes it a number 7. Yes, but again, they have it. I'm just, you know, I'm looking for an excuse for more tattoos, man. I think that's what it is. Does it seem kind of bad? That's like, I you know, I should, I have to get more tattoos, right? There we go. And for me doing like kind of the engineering silly stuff, I like having that sort of crazy vibe about me. All right, so we're gonna be going 2 up. We need 2 1x2 studs worth coming out of the bottom. Matt, what's happening? Matt, hey, thank you for the repost, Matt. I appreciate that. This should be lining up right here. And then we've got 1 stud space in the back. So this whole thing is being built from the base up. For example, 64. Oh, wait, hold on. How would you measure a base plate? Well, that's a tattoo on my chest. No, I'm playing, brother. I'm playing. So Reaper's asking, because we were talking about the chart on my arm, because it only goes to 16. So like this is obviously bigger than my arm tattoo, right? So I could say, all right, that's 6, and I'm adding 2, so that's 8. So it's a 8 by 16. So 64 by 64. I mean, at this point, I would just say that's 20 inches. So I would just measure it to my forearm. I just have to calculate it. That's where you kind of have to calculate it. But for like small stuff, so like I grab one of these, put it down. Hey, 6 by 6 right there. I could say, well, 3 and 3, 3 and 3, so that's 6. Count them out that way. But this makes it kind of a quick measure where I want to put it down 6 by 8 and already have it. I could just move on from that. So when I get into base plates and stuff, that's when you got to take like your measuring tape with you, because we know it's what 10.14 inches is a standard 32 by 32. So yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it is. Did your comment go through? Hey, buddy. All I saw was, let's see. I'm looking. What did the oceans? Hey, what did the oceans say to the other? I don't know, man. You gotta lay me in on that one, because I don't know. 12. What did it say? Nothing. It just waved. I should have known that one. I should have known, man. You all got the jokes coming early. Here's the thing. I've been out for a while, and I'm so happy to be back, and I'm so happy to hear some of these really, really bad jokes. I love them, though. Absolutely love them. Because most modular buildings use a 32 by 32 and a 16 by 32. That's right. So, Reaper, you're correct on that. So, 32 and 32, or the 16 by 32. Now, I've had a few modulars that are kind of on the lines of, they're almost like 20. I think I'm starting to see some that are falling at about 20 to 24. So kind of in those in-between sizes, which is kind of weird. It makes city planning a little odd. Matt says, hold on, let's see. My teachers told me I'd never amount to much because I procrastinate so much. I told them, just you wait. Gabe! Just you wait. You know, I have a jacket. It's kind of my nerd jacket, right? So it's an old kind of army style jacket that's got full of patches all over the place. And one of the things I love about it is on the back, it's got kind of a biker style detail of this language written. And it says procrasta, and it just stops, and the rest of it's just empty. And I'm like, that is perfect. Perfect for me. Absolutely perfect. Procrasta. I'll have to make a post to tag you all in that. Oh man. Alright, so it looks like I need 4 of these bad boys. I'm gonna move. I've got some really big plates here that I need to move out of the way. I know it's in here, I'm pretty sure. If not, oh man. Out the gate, man. Mould King, I love you, but out the gate, we already got a gleaming, glaring problem. Oh, there it is. About to say, sometimes they move things around or have like one part in another bag. Let's see. Have you heard about the guy who stole the calendar? Yeah, he got 12 months. Yeah, that one I do know. I told that to some students one time, and they kind of looked at it and they're like, for stealing a calendar? And I'm like, yeah, they got 12 months. And they're like, dude, that seems kind of harsh. I'm like, you're not understanding what's... I said, how many months is in a calendar? And I don't know. I was like, how many months are in a year? They said, 12? I'm like, okay, there you go. So we'll start there. I was like, you got 12 months in a year, and they stole a calendar. They're like, I don't get it. And I'm like, oh, God bless you. Oh, man. And mind you, that was high school. But at the same time, man, there's so much going on in high school. They their minds are all over the place. If you ask me what my high school is like, I'd be like, I don't really remember, man. Not at all. I remember some things. I remember my photography class. I loved that one. And I remember Mr. Mitchell's English class. I loved that one. But outside of that, I don't know. Let's see. I gave up my seat to an elderly person on the bus. Okay. And that's how I lost my job as a bus driver. Nice. Nice. That's how I lost my job as a bus driver. You guys got jokes today. I've been missing you all. You know that? I have absolutely been missing you all. I did so last week. Last week was kind of a dad-son sort of week. We had to hang out, do some stuff. One of his friends ended up hanging out quite a bit. We did make it to go watch. Oh my goodness. We went to go watch. What is his name? Project Hail Mary. And both of us absolutely loved that movie. That's a great movie. If you've never seen it, it is solid. It is a pretty good movie. Let's see. That's going to go here. This is going to go here. Right now, this seems kind of flimsy for what we're getting, but just trying to square it up. It looks... This thing, if this is the actual beginning of the chassis, this thing's going to be huge. It's going to be really, really big. Really big. All right, let's see. What's the problem with unemployment jokes? Oh, there's a part of me that's not sure I want to engage on that one, but let me hear it. Let me hear it. None of them work. Yep. I'm gonna nod my head to that. Yep. Okay. Listen. Oh, right now with the world, that's a hard reality for some of us. But you know what? It is a joke. A joke is a joke. Man, none of them work, huh? All right. So let's see. I'm going to put these studs into here and here. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Now they're going in the half spaces. This is where Mould King, they have their lines showing on the top of the plates. So they have them showing like up here for the top of the plates. But reality is that they're actually going in between the jumper spaces on the back. So when we're lining them up, we got to make sure they're lined up a certain way. And this is supposed to set in like this. Boom and boom. So we should have these kind of lined up in a different area right over there. So there we go. All right. Let's see. Hey Alan, how are you? So how's everybody's Saturday been? Right now it's rainy here. It's rainy, it's cold, which I like. I've got my kids got a birthday party to go to. I gotta take them to. That one starts at 2, so I'll probably have to be off like right at 2 or a little bit before. But I told them I'd take them. My wife, she's got a dance competition where she's working with her students out there. So we got all sorts of crazy cool things going on this week. Next week we've got like star testing for our school and all sorts of stuff. And I am hanging through for the rest of the year. Okay. I was looking to see, hey, what's up? Let's see. That's just Claire. I like that name. Hey, look, that's just Claire. Hope you're having a good Saturday. We got 4x10. 4x10 right there. And we need 2 of these 2x4s. 1 and 2. There we go. Like I said, this is actually looking a little bit like a starship. Like, more than anything else. But this is, I think, the front of the racer. So this goes back. If this goes back here, we're going to be adding probably about that much more to it. This thing's going to be big. This will be one that probably, if I display this, I'm going to have to hang this thing on a wall. Because it's so far, this thing looks and feels massive. It's got apparently a turn thing where you got one more and you got to bounce. All right, what you got, Gabe? Why should you never play poker at the zoo? Why should you never play poker at the zoo? It already sounds absurd that I can't wait to find out. Too many cheetahs? Oh, man. I should have known. I should have known. Gabe, hey, thank you so much for stopping by. I love you, brother. Take care. I miss you, man. I hope you're doing good. Too many cheetahs. Oy vey. Oy vey. All right, so let's see. So we've got looks like a 1x6, a 2x4, and a 1x4. Thankfully, they're working in small steps as you go. You miss me more? I love you, man. I love you. All right, so we're going to be going a 1x6, and then the 2x4, and then the 1x4 on the end. Boom. And then we've got some of our kind of slanted plates. Now, it's going to be a slanted plate that actually has the little clips on them. These things, I remember having these when I was a kid with some of my space sets. And I absolutely loved these things because you could clip them out and, put things on them and make like little wings. Woo! But I'm glad to see that there are parts that I used as a kid that are still around today. And now other companies are actually using them as well. I think that's kind of cool. Some of those old parts, sometimes they'll retire parts. And I'm like, why? That part is so useful. Like there's one that I had on one of my Lego Dreams builds, and I call it a little axle piece. So it's got a stem that comes out to a box. It's got anti-studs, two, and then one on the end for studs, right? And I used to get them all the time in space sets in light gray. And absolutely, I was like, these things are great because you can use them for so much. And there came a point where I didn't feel like I saw them anymore. And then I started seeing them slowly show up again. But I started seeing them with a lot of alternative companies first before I got more in Lego, which was kind of surprising because Lego should be the leader on that. But I would feel like I just never saw them. So the fact that we're getting them now is pretty cool. I'm glad that Lego's starting to go back to their archives and pull some of those pieces out because it's very needed. Some of those pieces are absolutely amazing. 16, this is my 8x16. We're going to put this down on top. Listen, I got to press this in. All right. So there is going to be a little bit of a gap. Press that in. This thing's going to be huge. This is going to be one I'm going to have to hang on the wall, I have a feeling. But it's going to be hard to display because I've got this, wheels, a cart, a light, a trolley for wheels, all of this together. And it's a big set. I was surprised, absolutely surprised at how much is in this set. And I spent less than $20 on it. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, so we need 2 1x6s, 2 1x6s in white, a 6x6 should be squared up. 3 and 3. A 2x12. It should be my last red one. I'll check. Oops. 12. Yep. And then a 4x10. Is that it? Yeah. 4x10. One of those. Okay. Let's see. How are we building this? So we've got this here. We're going to be placing 1, 2, 3, 4 studs down, 2 studs back. So kind of like this. Am I correct? Yes. And then we're going to be fitting 2 of these 6x6 plates on there. Okay. So we're going to go 1. That should line up. 1 and 2. Press it. Make sure it's nice and held. And now 1. Oh, wait. You got to go back 1. 1 and 2. And then we're going to put these on the end. Surprisingly, there's nothing to hold this bit of plate down over here, but I have a feeling we're putting stuff on top of it. Kobe! What's up, man? Miss you too, brother. Glad to see you here. Okay, so this should fit right back here. How are we doing this? Okay, so I'm guessing this is fitting here. Now, I thought there was going to be some sort of overlap up to here, but we don't have any of that. Instead, we're fitting it to here, and then we're going to be adding plates over the top. So we're reinforcing it with plates on the top. Okay, so we need 2 6x8s. 1, 2. Is that my 8s? Yep, 6x8s. How are we doing this? We're going to put 1 here. Boom, boom, boom. You know, I saw that the F1 movie, I hadn't watched it yet. The one with Brad Pitt. I hadn't watched it yet. I know my kid wanted to watch it. And I think it's about to hit Netflix or it's about to come on. So, or maybe it's Disney. I can't remember which one. But I told him, I was like, you know what? We'll watch it. So I have a feeling we'll be watching the F1 movie here pretty soon. I never saw it, but I heard it was really good. Let me know if you've seen it. Let me know what your thoughts were on it. You know, how true to the sport is it? You know, what's the drama like? That sort of thing. He finally got around to watching Creed, and I can't remember if I was supposed to watch, what was it? There was something I wanted to watch so bad. Now, I still haven't made it to watch my Spider-Man movie. I did finally finish my last Venom movie. Pretty decent send-off. Not too bad. Not anything I was like, woohoo about. I was like, yeah, not too bad. It kind of killed me, though, because of the King in Black. We get to see him at the beginning, and that's pretty much it. They didn't do anything else with them. And as far as I know, they're not adding anything to the series. So, and I think we talked about this one of the last times that we were on together. I bring it up because I know. Usually Kobe and I, we talk about that. But I'm kind of sad that it doesn't seem like there's going to be anything else or any more. And then I saw the news that what was it? A whole bunch of visual effects artists got fired from Disney, and they are apparently replacing them with AI. So I just heard the headlines on it, and I haven't got to see too much about that. So that's definitely I definitely want to hear thoughts on that, because that's kind of wild. I know AI can probably make some of the effects easier, but still that human element of making sure that thumbs are right and certain things look correct, like that's a big ordeal. Hey Cliff, what's up, man? I'm looking forward to May 3rd. I'm gonna be on with them on his channel, doing some probably reviewing, live chat, checking things out. I think that's going to be fun. I look forward to that. Absolutely look forward to that. If you haven't followed Mr. Click and Cliff down there, be sure reach down there in that comment section, give him a follow, let him know what's up. He is a part of our minifig club brick community. He is a good dude, good content. You gotta follow him. Check him out. Same with my buddy Matt there. Definitely give him a follow. He's got really good content. If you are anywhere in the AFOL community and you have not been following these guys, you need to. Kobe is good. He's got lots of sports stuff, but I don't see too much brick things. I want to see more. Yeah, I know. Interviewing me. Oh my goodness, now you put me on the spot. I thought we were just hanging out. Do I have questions I need to know beforehand? Because I don't know a lot, but I know I like building. So let that be the only thing I need to talk about. I'm not gonna sing it, I promise. That would be too awkward. All right, so it looks like we're building the back portion of this. So we are gonna be, there's some brackets. Okay, these are pretty interesting brackets. I'm gonna pull it up here. So normally you have a bracket that's gonna be the same amount of plates across as it is down. Okay, so if you got a bracket like this, and I'll kind of show you here as well, you would expect to see a plate that's going to be the same amount over as it is going down. So this, normally we would say we got a 1x2 bracket by 2. Okay, so that means it's 1x2 as a plate, goes down as a 2x2 bracket. Okay, so 1x2 by 2 bracket. And brackets usually go out and then fall down. If they go out and then fall up, it's an inverted bracket. This is interesting and unique because instead of having a bracket that is a 1x2, it is a 1x1 to a 2x2 bracket. And what they're doing, instead of making a 1x2 by 2x4, which is standard for Lego, they split that in half and made 2 different ones. They can't say what's up. Oh my God, you're showering me with gifts. Girl, how are you? You doing good? I'm hoping that how's that Titanic going? I know that you were getting one of them. Which one did you get? Because I know you want the Lego one for sure. But what else has been going on in life? I saw someone putting one together the other day that was the end soon, and I thought about you. I was like, that could be a good alternative. If you're wanting to know anything about the Titanic, Deconse is your person to talk to. She definitely knows. Absolutely knows. All right. So again, instead of using that 1x2 by 2x4 bracket like what Lego has, we're splitting it and doing these really interesting, kind of unique 1x's. 1x 2x2 brackets. Good. I haven't bought it yet. I know you're working on the Ninja Turtle brickheads. I know some people. I saw some people that were getting that in on their feeds. Thought that was cool. I was still thinking about it. Honestly, I kind of want to go out and get, before they're not available anymore. There were several sets that were over at the 5 and Down that, like, I think they're like Brick and Snap or something. Or Snap and Switch, that's what it is. And I kind of wanted to nab those while I could. Kind of put those together. I'm not too keen on brick. Like, I like brickheads. I think, let me rephrase that. I think brickheads look really cool. I'm all good for brickheads. But for me, personally, I like it to be able to fit into my city somehow. Well, I say that now I'm building a 1/12 scale racer. So, I don't know. I'm not sure where I fit on the brickheads yet. Maybe I need to get one and then try it. Let's see. It says, you love them? Yeah. And the Golden Girl briquettes too. Now sent that to one of my friends because he's a huge Golden Girls fan, and I know Brickcraft also has some Golden Girls stuff too. So I sent him that. And then also just got the Max. Oh, you did? The minifig for that is pretty cool. I got so many in my backlog. I'm not doing more, just those two, I think. Okay. Okay. So the briquettes. I thought about doing the I thought about getting the Fortnite briquettes because I do really like Fortnite, and I don't feel like there's quite enough products, and like they're putting out product which is great, but it's all expensive, like $250 for Mecha Team Leader. Well, that's kind of out of my price range sometimes. And then, they have the Airbus, the drop bus, which I was like, okay. What company? So the Golden Girls, for it was Brickcraft, and I've done some pretty solid Brickcraft builds before. They're pretty good. So there was a time when I created, I think it was a bunch of Peeps. So Peeps baskets during the holidays. I had some builds of Brickcraft. Some flowers I've done have been from Brickcraft. They're awesome. They are a really, really cool company. I enjoy them quite a bit. I didn't review it because it was so far behind, but I had built this flower here, and this was one of their Valentine's like roses, and I got it with the intention of doing it. Things got wild. I couldn't get it done, so I just built it and put it in there. So it's my little floral arrangement, and actually this stand here is also Brickcraft. So like all this, it's all put together. This is all Brickcraft, but instead of putting the heart and the thing on, because it was a rose that you'd get off, and it had this little gold chain that went around this kind of heart, and I'll show you what I did. This heart up here came off, and so I instead put this heart on a sign that I'm working on that says Jesus, because we love them. And then the chain I'm going to end up putting on my money creeper right here, and give him a gold chain instead of that silver chain, and I'll use that silver chain for something else. So yeah, you're huge into Golden Girls. You're gonna order the others. Oh, you see it? Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Hey, Puppet. Yeah, no, the like I said, my friend absolutely loves the Golden Girls. I have another friend that likes Golden Girls. He always makes jokes about them, but I think secretly, deep down inside, I really do think he enjoys the show quite a bit. When I was younger, I used to enjoy watching it. I can't remember. So there was Blanche. Oh man, I'm getting quizzed. I'm about to get schooled on this. I know. So the old lady. You had the Monopoly game, hot sauce blanket, shirts, and shot glasses. A car sunbriser. Nice. So yeah, you are a fan. So who was the old lady? What was her name? Because that was the mother of. So Blanche was the. Let's see. Blanche was the promiscuous. Then you had Betty White's character, and I can't remember her name. Then you had the lady, she was on the Star Wars special, and her mom was the older lady. Am I correct? Sophia, Blanche, Rose, and Dorothy. Okay. Interesting. Now when I hear Dorothy, I have a grandmother program at my school, and we have like a grandparent that comes in, can sit with the kids, and her name is Dorothy. And so now anytime I hear Dorothy, I think of her now, which is good. All right, I'm gonna miss her. But at the end of the year, when the school year's over, I'm gonna miss her. She's been really good, really nice, fun little stories. Fun stories. Are those bricks? No. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna see who. Hey, Rudy. Okay, so no, it's this is actually Mould King. Now I've done Mould King before, and for Mould King, They are standard size, so they are compatible with major brands. So when you think of major brands now, Lego obviously the leader, big L as a leader for the group. So they are the big L for the group, not the loser, leader. So they kind of started it. Now, when we think of standard bricks, I think that's what 16 millimeters for kind of a standard size brick. 12 becomes the step down as what's called mini, and then I think it's like 10 is micro. So this is compatible with Lego. It's also compatible with like Lumabricks, Brickcraft, Brick Block Tech, Make It Blocks. Let's see. Oh my goodness, hold on. I gotta go. Bricks, Space Blocks, Lux Blocks, Kogo, Kata, Rio Bricks. I mean, it's like there's so many at this point, so many. But yeah, they're compatible with with like all of your brick companies. So you can use them with Lego, but they're not Lego. And I say that in that most of the time, quality wise for some of these are okay. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're not. I would definitely say I do get a lot of what we call alternative brands. And the alternative brands I usually will look at and review on my YT. So later on today, you might want to go and check them out. There's some pretty good build stuff out there, and then there's some that's like some that when I've built and reviewed, and I kind of look at it and go, yeah, you might want to like if you decide to get this, it's kind of on your own budget at this point. But there oftentimes like I will build it in some sort of show, talk about the build, and then review it after I've had a few days to look at it, kind of walk over everything, and then I kind of can make a decision. And I normally put something up every single day for review or just building, that sort of thing. And I do a lot of alternative stuff. So if you got questions, man, hit me up for sure. I have been around the block on building. There's a few companies I haven't got to really try yet, but for the most part I have. So let's see. Dorothy was actually 1 year older than Sophia in real life. Yeah, I'm not surprised. And so I'm trying to remember the actress's name that played Dorothy. She was the Betty White would have been. Hold on, I'm trying to remember. So we had Sophia, Rose. So Betty White was Rose. Blanche was the hot cougar lady, right? And then you had Sophia was the older woman. But I'm trying to remember Dorothy, the actress that played Dorothy. I'm trying to remember her name because she was also on the Star Wars special that was kind of like buried under things, and people did not want that to come out. Let's see. How is the quality? For the most part, so far on this set, for this particular set, quality-wise right now, for the actual, so we call clutch. Clutch is the ability for one plate or brick to hold on to the other. So far, clutch on this has been solid. Now, I have had some sets in the past from Mould King that were pretty good. Clutch was great, but the actual building of it, how we were putting certain pieces together, didn't make a lot of sense. And there were a few times, and it was with some of my boats, so like some of my really old sets for Mould King. So I've been building Mould King probably for a little bit over a year now. So some of the first sets I got were some of the old sets that they had before that. And then this so far has been solid. The last build that I did was a Hurricane STO with a Wasteland playset. That was a pretty solid build. I enjoyed it. The only thing is that it was scaled as a Speed Champion car, but you couldn't actually fit a minifigure in there. So that felt like that was a little bit of a downfall. They don't do minifigs. So a lot of their sets are kind of just models, and they're kind of set as models. But you could technically, for some of the sets, put minifigs in them. You're thinking about getting a few of the sets, price listing. Yeah, technically this one is pretty solid. At some point, hit up my bio, okay? Before you make the decision, hit my bio. A lot of the ones I've built are listed there, so it's kind of a quick way to find those, okay? But yeah, this so far has been good. It'll take me probably a couple days to build, but I'm digging it. Now, right now, we're about to go in the Technic aspect, so we're going to be pulling plates with bars and pins. So we've got, this is a 6x. So we've got a 6x8. Yep. So this is a 6x8 Technic box, and you know it's Technic box because it's got the Technic pinholes in it. It's opened up, and it's brick size. So we've got one of these. We've got two of our Technic 2 bar pins. 1 and 2. And they like to color code things, which I do enjoy. It makes it kind of like Lego. It makes finding certain parts easy, right? And then we got 2 Technic pins on the back. 1 pin in the back, 1 pin here, and then we're doing Technic up and Technic up. Now, some of this, I know some of this is going to be holding hoses down, and we're going to be doing pieces and parts for engine build, and the way that they're going to be tilting certain things is kind of cool. But I do believe there's some play features in that you turn the head of this thing, it'll turn the wheels, so you got that Technic part. And then I believe there's also like areas where you can like lift the engine covers up and take a look at things, which I think is pretty cool too. So yeah, hey Nino, oh, he already left. Hey, thank you all for the likes, I do appreciate it. Hey, real quick, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe. This is for the others. Be sure to hit that bell for notifications, like this video, etc. So these sorts of things do help. My bio has a lot of this stuff in it, so if you ever need to find, hey, what's that set he was talking about, as long as I have it available to put there, I usually will have this set available for you all to take a look at, and I try to make things easy, okay? So I've got a lot of that stuff out there on the on my bio links, channel stuff. I try to get all that in there for you. Okay, so we've got this for this section. We got this, it's going to go on the back. So we're setting that off to the side. Okay, one thing I notice about Mould King, oftentimes they will say, all right, we're going to build this huge thing, but now we're going to put it to the side. Now we're going to build all these little pieces to go into it. And they do a lot of like what I call like the micro side builds to get you up to big parts of engine building or part building, which is fine. It's fine. You got, bro, I got dominoes. Hold on, let's see. Thank you for, hey, anytime you want to talk bricks with me, man, I would love talking. I love talking bricks with people. So yeah, anytime you got any questions, hit me up. Let me know. I'm here to share that info. My role and what I'm hoping to do is to make everybody a better brick builder. I reach out to the community quite often to become a better brick builder myself, because sometimes I do struggle, right? And that's what we're here. We're here to support each other, kind of get our brick building habits up, find new things, new sets. So if I build a set and I notice, hey, no one's talked about this thing, I will build it, share it, give my thoughts as I move along, so that way people can get a good idea if it's something that they want to do or not. Pizza sounds so awesome today, dude. Yeah, you know, I'm taking my kid to a birthday party today, so I have a feeling there's going to be pizza. I think I'm going to get some pizza today. Absolutely. So you say Domino's, right, Kobe? Mm-hmm. Got some Domino's. Got some pizza. You wanting to get some pizza and some Domino's. I feel like that goes hand in hand. So we used to say throwing bones. How do you call it bones as well? What do you call Domino's? Because we would we would get kind of serious when we played dominoes, man. Like I remember when we had that last winning piece of the game, pow! We throw it down there, win the game. We never. Well, I say we never bet, and sometimes we would put like money or beers on it. Domino's. I have no. I have Domino's pizza. Okay, okay. Domino's pizza. Hey, Domino's pizza is really good too. So here's what I'm gonna take a minute. I'm gonna drink some because my throat's starting to hurt. But here's what I get at Domino's for my pizza. Everyone loves it too because I usually get the was it the $6.99 mix and match deal, right? Any was it any medium pizza up to like it's like two or three toppings, something like that. So um, I usually get was it hand tossed crust with the standard crust. I go with Parmesan sauce or garlic Parmesan, cheese, Philly cheesesteak, like the steak, and then I go with banana peppers on it. I love that pizza. It's so good, tasty, excellent, excellent pizza. And you can tell, man, eating that pizza's done me really good because I have inherited every fat molecule from that pizza, and I cannot seem to get rid of it, man. But yeah, that pizza, man, Domino's is good, 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 good pizza, good pizza. I'm a little envious. I don't think we're getting Domino's. Usually at birthday parties, that's not what they do. I love how you let me know, like, no man, not Domino's. Domino's pizza. This day I'm so that when I hear Domino's, my brain does not go to Domino's pizza first. I remember when Domino's became a thing. Like it was we had Pizza Hut forever. We had Mr. Gaddy's Pizza when I was a kid. And then Domino's kind of came a little bit later, and I remember that being a big deal because we had the Noid. He was the annoying character that was jumping into your neighborhood to try to steal your delicious pizza. And it was like this weird claymation creature. It was odd. Odd is pretty much the most I can say about it. It was so strange. But we had that, and then when when it was Little Caesars came around, they had a lot of really weird commercials too. And they had, things like they were all joke commercials too, which is kind of interesting. In order to get your attention back in the day, they had to do joke commercials apparently. But there was like one that I remember where it was this guy going and goes, so for $9.99 I get a pizza in a box. It's like, yeah, I get a pizza in a box. It's like, well, what am I supposed to do with the box? And the guy goes, well, you put your pizza in. And he goes, that's it? And he goes, no, you could do this. And he takes this thing and he makes the box into a dinosaur, right? And he goes, you can make origami. And the guy's like, what's origami? And he looks, it's a pterodactyl, and he's holding the pizza box going, rawr, rawr. And that's what I remember of Little Caesars for their commercials. And it was like the pizza. And I remember that was so odd because as a kid, I was just looking at it. I'm like, what just happened? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand this world, man. I don't get it. Just don't get it. All right. So it looks like if this was built correctly. Okay. Uh-huh. All right. I might need to take me a minute. So, let's see. This is backwards. That's why. Yeah, dude. Well, so what did you get? What kind of piece did you get, Kobe? So I think that goes like this. That's how that goes now. Okay. And then that's supposed to fit in right here. Still is kind of odd. Still so odd. All right. Okay, I think I see what I did wrong. All right. Give me a minute. I'm going to pop these plates up, and I got to move them back one. So, there is, so for a lot of companies, they will walk you through, they'll kind of do what's called an overhead map. So you can kind of see, hey, this thing goes here, this thing goes here, etc. And usually, most companies are pretty good about that. This, however, probably needed to be an overhead map for this key feature right here, because this was not, it, from the directions, it looked like it was supposed to be a little bit further out or a little bit further in, and it wasn't. It was supposed to be one stud out. So with that, just had to move it. And interestingly enough, we have pencil holding this, but it is all being pressed down. So I find that kind of interesting. So Kobe, I did ask, so what kind of dominoes did you get? Did you get anything particular, or pepperoni? I know lots. Actually, sound off in the comments, everybody. What is your favorite pizza? Somebody's got to have just a favorite pizza. I really like chicken, jalapeno, and pineapple. I know I'm about to get some hate about my pineapple comment, but man, I love pineapple. Also, Canadian bacon and pineapple with jalapenos or banana peppers. See, I want to order pizza now. Look what you did, man. Look what you did, Kobe. You got me trying to go and order pizza. I don't need it. I definitely don't need it today. What I need is I need to go eat that salad out there in the fridge instead. But man, I want pizza now. Hey, El Rubio. Oh, yum. Pizza sounds good. All right, so we're going to be laying these 2x4s and then a 1x4 right there. Now, here's the thing. So I do have a carpentry background, right? Or I've done some building, some basic carpentry stuff. If you ask me if I'm an expert, I'd be like, nope. Not even going to admit it. But I've done some carpentry work, you know? Like I built the display table that's out there where my city's on. I was able to do that without any hardware, which I was like, sick. I got that settled. But all in all, like, it's just like few small things here and there, and I do make a ton of mistakes. Like, you know, I had someone tell me like, hey, you know, you did filler on there, when you stain it, it's gonna look bad. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of figured that out. It's been long enough that I know I straight up ruined that part. But the way that it stained, it was dark enough. I got lucky, and that I didn't see all of that. So I was like, that works for me. You know, absolutely works for me. But what I will say is now, when I, you know, talk about going and getting 2x4s, I've done building so long, like Lego building at this point, that I hear 2x4 and I think of like a 2x4 plate, something like this, instead of an actual 2x4, like 4 inches by 2 inches. And it cracks me up because, again, I've done this sort of building for so long now that it's like I've forgotten, you know, the 2x4 aspect of actual like carpentry work. Which is why when I got a chance for Luma Bricks, they had the let's see, what kind is that? Oh yes, Technic pen to bar. when they had the carpentry van, and I saw it was on sale that one time. I told my wife, I was like, listen, I know I've gotten a lot this month. This thing is about to go, which I think it's on its way. I think it might be its last year. I had to get that carpentry van, and I remember I put it together, and I went to my hometown, and I took that thing with me, and I had it out, and I was playing like he was building tables and stuff. And my goal one day is to actually have it to where I could set up, like, you know, the city here, the other city out in the living room, and I want to put that carpentry van, I want to park it outside the cheese house, make it like he's building a table for him, because I do love that cheese house. Right now, unfortunately, my cheese house is basically back in the box until I get a chance where I can take it out and display it somewhere. But man, that cheese house is great. It's a beautiful set. Absolutely gorgeous set. That's another solid build that they did. Alright, so we've got this. We're going to put that here. We've got a bar going through here, and then we've got another one of these Technic plates. So these are all Technic plates at this point. So we've got that. We've got these are going bar in and bar in. And then it looks like, are we building the same thing on the other side? Yes. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 1 and then 2 and 2. See if I built that correctly. Yes. Okay. And then this is supposed to go that needs to pop out, I think. Uh-oh. I got one that's stuck. Alright. Oh, it's because I put it on the wrong side. Okay, here we go. This goes in here. And then these go in here. Here's the thing that I love about Technic sets and stuff. One of the things I absolutely love about them is the fact that they have such a fun sort of appeal to them when it comes to the build, that it really gets your brain cooking on how to build these things, because you have to be very specific about the way parts fit together. You have to be specific about where things go. And I know there's a Mould King set that is an engine, and apparently it's got working features on the engine. And I'm not much of a gearhead, but to be quite honest, like, there's a part of me that's like, man, I wouldn't mind getting that and experiencing that area of the engine build. I think that would be kind of a fun feat. Okay, so I'm wondering if this might be the bottom portion of the seat, and then we're going to be going up here. Alright, so we need 2 of these red L plates, and then 2 of these white 1x4s. So we're skipping. So we got 1 skip, and then 1 skip, and then 2 L plates to box this area out right here. Boom. And boom. Colors on this are pretty bright, which I like. I think they're pretty cool. And we're going to continue going. All right. So we need it looks like 1 of these 2x2s plate, 2x2 plate, and then it looks like we need 2 1x2 cheese wedges, or wedges, I should say. I should start calling them wedges, but I love the cheese wedge. Like, I like that name so much. When I built the Luma Bricks cheese house, one of the funny things I loved about it was that you had, and I'll kind of show you here, you had a ton of these little pieces here, which are called cheese wedges, right? We call them cheese wedges. They're wedges. And they had printing on them that looked like cheese. And so the fact that we had cheese wedges that were actually working as cheese, and multiple colors of yellow, different cheese colors in there. And it was cracking me up, because it was like, all this cheese. And so I kept saying all these cheesy jokes, cheesy things. And at one point, there was like grandma. This was a grandma and grandpa figure, minifigs. And so I called them Grandma and Grandpa Cheese. And what was cracking me up was that there was one table that had a knife, and you built a cheese block where some of the cheese was like cut away from it. And I kept talking about how Grandma Cheese had cut the cheese. And I basically got myself caught in a giant loop of, essentially, to be crude about it, fart jokes. And I could not get out of it. I was laughing way too much over these really ridiculous jokes. And to me, when I play with that cheese house, that is one of the things that comes up in my head is the fact that it was so satisfying to build and so silly to talk about when I did it. Let's see. Hey Shanine, how are you? I gotta I've gotta move my glasses now to see the screens. All right, cause that's right, Kobe. Cause I'm so unk. That's how I roll these days, man. Speaking of which, how have you been? I know you've been out, man. I've been praying for you. I hope those prayers have reached you. It's kind of concerned for my buddy for a little bit. All right, we got this. We got one by four with Technic, one, two, and then one, two of these L plates. So one and two, and then one, two, and then this is gonna box in right over here to here. Okay. Speaking of which, hey, did you, Kobe? If you're still a sound off, I'm gonna ask you a question. I want to know if you heard this. So, being a Marvel fan, I saw that Hasbro just announced it was a 1-to-1 collector scale Cyclops' visor. I want to know if you had seen that. I saw this morning one of the channels I follow. They were talking about it, and it's like I like it kind of, but it also to me feels just a little bit goofy. It's a little oversized. I want to know if you had seen it and what your thoughts were on it. Hey, Mary Bricks, how are you? Got another Bricks brother here. So today, just for knowledge, we're putting together a F1 Racer by Mould King. Now, we're probably only going to get half of it done, because I think there's like 1,600 pieces. Quite a bit. 1,603 pieces. Now, I know some of that, so some of it's the racer, and then we've got like a cart, dolly for wheels, another wheel carrier, some flags, and then this racing post and everything. So there's quite a bit to it, but we're going to get, I think, probably up through bag 2 done, maybe some of 3, and then we'll come back to it next week and finish it up. Try to get it done within 2, but if we got to go 3, we'll go 3. So far right now, I'm still on bag 1. And we're already hitting 12 o'clock. There's quite a bit to this. Let's see. Hey Jamie, how are you? Okay, so we're gonna go 1 and 2, boom, boom, and then we're putting this bar through there. So we've got some, I think we're gonna be stepping this off. We got a few of our transaxles, so we've got kind of the slots that fit one another and can corner and create movement. So we are actually creating movement here. And I think that's going to be, that's going to be for our steering column. Oh, already I'm super stoked about this. Super stoked. So we got 1, 2 of these Technic U bars here. Or actually, I guess you can call them like Y bars. Why? Because I love them. And then we got the Technic 1x5s. Yep. All right. So, and it looks like we're going to be putting Here, that's next one. We've got, let's see, one more over here. I've got one more step here that I missed. 1 and 1. Let's see. Hey, thank you for the like. I appreciate that. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Hey, and thank you for the follow, too. I definitely appreciate that. Hope your Saturday's been good, man. It has been, all right, put that in there. It's been, I think so far for a start of a Saturday, it's been a good Saturday. I like this Saturday so far. I'm hoping it gets better, and I'm hoping that everyone that has this Saturday right now, I'm hoping you all get blessed because of it. Because you know what? This day and age with things going on, we need blessings for our Saturdays. Whether you're working or not, whether you're just live streaming, whether you're building, whether you're hanging out with family, you know, I ask God bless you all. And I thank you for all showing up here, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Didn't have to, you did. I'm hoping that what I'm building is entertaining enough. All right, so we're going to go 1 in, and we're kind of hinging these things, right? Let's see. I'm missing one. Hey, CMS Blocks, how are you? And thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate that. I got Rexy, how are you? All right. So, I'll pop that in here like this. So we've got this kind of cool mechanism here. And at this point, we've got this mechanism here. So this is how we're building that steering column. We're going to be laying it into this, which I love, but we've got to fix the rest of this in real quick. So we're going to pop this in right here. Come on now. Boom. And then that should kind of turn this one way or another, I'm guessing. Okay. Now we got a socket. So it is Technic brick with a ball joint on it. We need 2 of those, and then 1 of these. It's a Technic 1x2 bar, and then a Technic 1x3 brick. And then we're going to be building up the section going up front. Usually when we get these on, it's indicator that we're going to have something either connecting to it, or we're going to be doing something that is going to have a rubber band on it. So I don't think we're putting rubber bands on this, but it is something to keep in mind. If I ever need to build with this down the road, I could always use these pins for rubber band work. But I have a feeling once this one goes together, I don't know how much of this I'd be taking apart. All right, so let's take a look. Oh, slick. I'll show you up here. Look, check that out. So even just that little bit of movement there is what I think is going to be turning our wheels. I like this. I like this a lot. This is pretty solid. Okay, got 50 here. We're over on 51, and we've got 1, 2 of these Technic bars to Technic pins, and then 1, 2 of these Technic bars to Technic pins to Technic bar sleeves. And we're going to be going, I'll go ahead and set them like this. 1 in here, 1 in here, and this is going right through here. Okay, so that's going to reinforce this. 1 and 2. And it's bring it out almost like a full brick step. So I like that. Hey, CMS Box, thank you for the follow. Dean, how are you? Dean Beans. I hope you're having a good Saturday, my man. All right, so let's see. We got number 4s, 1 and 2. Now, these are number 4 Technic bars that actually have a stop cap on them on the back. So that means we'll probably be pulling this through, and then we need that stopper on the back to keep it from going any further. So we're going to have tension on this. And then we got 2 of these basically Technic hole plate or Technic hole bricks with the sockets on it. So let's see. I like playing with that. Boom, 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 boom. So this is going 1 Technic bar is going out. This is going on the end here. So we need 2 of these. So pressing two of these together. Boom, 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 and boom. All right, here we go. And then it looks like, I put something upside down, so you gotta give me a minute. Gonna pull this out. This needs to turn. Push that back in. It happens. It happens. All right, set that back in that way. 1 and 2. There we go. Can I go like that? Is it still working? Let's check it. Yeah, still working. And then these, so this is kind of an interesting, this is something I don't see very often, but on these Y plates here, we got it where we got a little socket here. It's actual ball socket. These, with one socket out, are going to fit outward. Like this, like this. So engineering-wise, whoever engineered this, like, this is a Technic master right here. This is not something I think I could engineer as well. This is pretty sharp. As far as like knowing your brick build, things like that, this is pretty sharp. I say that, and then let's see. So it's still a little loose, but we'll get it. We'll get it. All right. Oh, I missed a spot. Let me take these off. That's why. 1, 2, 1, and 2. All right, so let's see. 1, 2 of these red Technic pins. Hey, Brick. Let's see. Hold on. Brickneek, what's up? I like that name, man. That is cool. That is a solid name. Talk about techniques, Brickneek. I dig that quite a bit. I absolutely dig that. I'm gonna have to. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna do a follow back here. Let's see. Follow back. Hope you're doing good today. All right. That way I can kind of check out, because I have a feeling you've got some cool technique stuff coming up that you've got on your page. Are you having a good Saturday so far? All right. So we're creating kind of corner pieces. There we go. 1, 2. We'll do the same thing for the other side. 1 and 2. And then we're setting this in here, and then we're using these pins to hold them in place. So set it, pin, and I might need to grab one of my old limit bricks pieces here. Let's see. Yeah, let's grab this one right here. Let's see. How is that not wanting to shimmy in there? There we go. Boom. All right, and then we're going to take this, press it all the way in. Oh, that one hurt my hand there. And then we got this one. We'll do the same thing. So we're going to take this pin, slide it in, and we're going to be working it through. All right. And that's going to pop in there just like that. Okie dokie. I wonder if this might change a few things here. So now that we have these up and going, now we're going to attach this to this and this to this. Now let's see. Yeah, that seems a little bit more stable there, which is kind of what we want. Okay. And now we're moving over to the next page. Okay, so we need 4 of these really long Technic pins. There's 3 and 4. We're kind of getting down to the end of bag 1. Now this has all been bag 1. So in bag 1, there's already like the full chassis build, which is ginormous, by the way. And I believe this should be the back. We still have probably the wheel and the spoiler that goes on there. But this thing is already, it's huge. Let's see, that's probably 12. Let's count them. Let's see, 16 is up to about here. 16's up, so that's already 10. So 10, and then almost, yeah, this is probably about 14 inches at this point. So that is huge. I absolutely, this is wild. Hey, thank you all for the likes again. I appreciate that. So there's quite a bit to this. Okay, I'm gonna set that back. We got our 4 Technic pins. We need 1 of our bricks with Technic holes in it. 2 of our little Technic Y holders, or they're like little, I'm not sure what to call these. I'd have to look it up on my, oh my goodness, what is it called, the Bricklink, to figure out what they are called specifically. But yeah, we've got those, and then we got 1, 2 of our 1 to 5 Technic bars here. Okay, so let's see, we're gonna go 1 and 2, 1 and 2. We're now putting in, okay, I see what we're doing. All right, I'm gonna need both hands for this and to concentrate. So we're gonna go 1, 2, we're gonna stack them in like this. And this should be going 1, and then, I'm not doing that right, 1 here. And we'll line that up, 1 here, and we'll line that up, and that should go right across to the other side. Boom, just like that. Okay, except this time the brick is going down, just like that. Okay, so yeah, I see what we're doing. We're using these couplers here on the end to snap down to the top of our little post, so that way we have a good turn radius on that, and it keeps it from flopping around. So I get it now. I get it. Then we're plugging this in here, 1, and plugging this one in over here, 2, with our Technic pin out. Make it nice and solid, keep it from flopping around. And yeah, it looks like this is going on top of here. So I'm gonna push. We've got multiple things going on at once. So we gotta shimmy those in. We gotta guide those in. Press that down. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That looks more like a turn radius right there. I dig it. Absolutely dig it. And it's done on enough that it's going to pivot the wheels really hard to make those turns a little bit better. So much like how the F1 Racer's actual axle pivot is, they're kind of mimicking that, which I dig. Pretty sharp. Pretty sharp. Like I said, designer of this set, pretty sharp. I like this. Okay, now we've got 1 bar in, another bar in. I'm gonna have to use my tool to press those in. That's a tight fit. So often what I do is I'll use the back of my tool, press those pins in, boom. So there's a good chance once this gets put together, I probably won't be rebuilding this at all. Not at all. Let's see. Hi, how are you doing today, Paul? We'll leave it at that. Hopefully you're doing good. All right. So now we've got our number 7. So we got a 1 and 7 here. And then we need 1, 2 of our Technic stems. And then how are we doing this? We're going to put this across here to fix this, make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Boom. And then these are going to go right in here. 1 and 2. Just like that. Boom, boom. All right. And then now we need our last brick here. So we're kind of down to The last little bit of bag 1, which works in my opinion. So far, this part of the build has been grand. We'll see. We'll check and see our time, and we'll probably go into bag 2 before we're done for the day. I don't want to drag this one out too much, but if I have to, I will. All right, so we're going to go 1, and we're going to go 1 and 2. 1, 2. Put our wedges, cheese wedges on the end, so 1 by 1 cheese wedges. 2 right here. One of these on top. And then we're going to press that in here. Let's see. Hey, Emma Lubrix, how are you? Thank you for the follow. I like that name, Emma Lubrix. Can't wait to check out your page, see what you got going on. All right, so here we go. So we've got this portion working. Now we're going to be guiding it in to our chassis over here. So where we were over here, what's cool about what they've done is they've lined up the white with the white, red with the red, so we know exactly where it's going to go. Those cheese wedges we put before are for our little transaxle pieces that are be going out, and then this should fit right here and stop about 2 spaces from the end here. And then now we've got a little bit of turn on that axle, and then we got movement with the actual steering shaft, which I think is pretty cool. So we've got this all built up, and now let's reinforce it. So we need 2 1x16s, 1 and 2, and then 2 1x6s, 3 and 3. I can measure it here. Yeah, 6. There we go. And let's see how we're going to be putting these together. So it looks like we're going to be turning this way. 1 and 16 is going to go all the way to the end right here. Reinforce this side. 1 going way over here, reinforcing this side. And then we're building up the box area right here to support our axle. Make sure everything's nice and covered. There we go. Sometimes it kills me because I like the idea that you can see the gears and stuff moving. And sometimes it bothers me when I get some builds that will cover that up, because it's like, oh, don't cover it up. I spent so much time building this one little section that it's like I want to be able to see the movement in it and see how it's working. And sometimes, I know it's, you know, the whole idea of the build is not for this one little area. But there are times when it's like I'm so impressed with that part of the building that I would want people to be able to see it. And so sometimes it kills me. It's like oftentimes I might go back and rebuild it, putting like clear bricks in there or something, just so I can see the stuff that I had built and put in there before, because I like it. And I like the technical aspects of things. I like seeing that, you know, you've got this little axle in here, you've got this piece in here that does this. To me, that just, it makes the build breathe and just feel a little bit cooler, you know what I mean? So there we go. Now we are putting in some plates, a few of these rounded. So we have, and I'll kind of show you what we have here. So these are put on the end of one of these. So normally when you get a tile that is a 1x1 tile, and it's a quarter round tile, you don't get that little slit in the bottom. Normally it's going to fit right into it. But they actually have a little slit in there because oftentimes they will do things like have it to where it's opened up to something or here or there. These also work really well if you're ever wanting to modify or do something with Lumabricks, or a set that actually incorporates lights in it, because you can take those and on that corner you can run a wire up to that corner and hide the wire a little bit easier, and it doesn't pinch the wire, which when you're working with wires you really don't want to pinch those wires, because you can damage a light so easily. I had one set where it didn't call for lights, but I started putting lights in, so I started rebuilding areas of how put lights in, and I had one wire that was pinched and it broke off of the light. So I had to pull out all my old soldering stuff, fire it up, and basically reapply this teeny tiny, this like a 32 gauge wire back to this little light without burning the actual LED light or the plastic. And it's tough. There are people overseas that are building these things at nauseum, and honestly, I don't know how they do it, because hitting those teeny tiny wires is not an easy feat by any stretch of the imagination. So I definitely, the people who make these kits make the kits with the lights on it and everything, unless they're doing it by machine, and I'm sure most of them are, I commend you, because doing that by hand is not easy, not at all. Okay, so I'm looking here. It looks like we're going one step in, boom, another step in, boom, right here, one back, right? So I'm counting, yeah, so one back, and now we're going to be building up a couple of these little stepper domes. So the round plates with dome on it, we're going to pop those across here. So one here and one here, and I have a feeling we're about to start building exhausts and stuff on the outsides. Now I'm hoping in the end that these plates are on kind of a thing that will kick them up, so that way you can look at all the detail work we're putting in here. And I'm kind of hoping that they leave this where it's a little open as well, so you can go in and check out and see how it's built. At least that's what I like about it. There, one time, a long time ago, McDonald's had, it was a set of Happy Meal toys, and they were all STEM based related toys. And at one point, I was actually teaching STEM in elementary. I loved it. Don't get to do that very much anymore. It's kind of it's hard controlled these days. You got to stick to specific things, and if you get off, you tend to get in trouble. So, I gotta get myself reoriented where I need to be. But when I was teaching STEAM, I went to McDonald's. I grabbed all these car sets because they had things with like engine work and other stuff in there that will allow you to see how the car worked. And I really dug that. Not something that you get very often. And so we would teach mechanics, and then for the STEAM portion for art, we actually had it to where we were creating our own whatchamacallits. And we did a study of simple machines, and we looked at Leonardo da Vinci, and we broke down our simple machines. So you had levers, you had screws, you had inclined planes, wheel and axle, that sort of stuff. And then we talked about complex machines. And then when they started building their own, we did our study on Leonardo da Vinci and what exactly he did, what he brought to the art world, and what he brought to the world of mechanics and architecture and design, because they all go hand in hand. We're looking at that, and what we did is we actually built our designs. So they thought through how their machine would work, and some of them actually built machines for extra credit on the side. They didn't work, they weren't there on that level, but it did get their brains start thinking. But we did all of our designs, we wrote everything backwards, because Leonardo da Vinci was so assured that people were trying to steal his designs that he did all of his writings for what was in the machine backwards in the mirror, so that way people, if they didn't know to look at it in the mirror, could not decipher his work. Yeah. Man was paranoid. Genius, but paranoid. I've got a model of his, it's basically, it's called a screw helicopter, but it was a flying machine that used a screw, which is a rotational inclined plane, and it doesn't really work, but I have a model of it in my classroom that I built that is, you know, based on his original design, and it's interesting concept, very interesting. Technically, it would make a really good landing platform. So if you were to drop it as a screw, but turn the actual like it's basically it's kind of a catchable plane. So turn it up a little bit, it would catch the wind and slowly let something drop to the ground, which is what the Space Pod 1 did. It used the principles of a seed, right? A little a pine seed uses one propeller that lets it drop the way it's turned. So technically, his helicopter would have been really good for a landing thing with a few modifications. Just a thought, just an absolute thought. Like I said, I get nerdy about these things. Absolutely, I love science. I love art. I love art's approach to science because there's a lot of things you can do with it. Art itself is a great communication tool. I think really in younger age we need to be looking at it as a communication tool, but I think bridging it with science in your other studies is kind of the smart approach. I think when you get too much into one specific thing, it's, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I feel like it can do damage, and every population of students are going to be different. So sometimes they're going to be on board with what you're doing, sometimes they're not. And, you know, a lot of that also depends on behavior. And if you got behavior problems, it's not going to work out for you. You're going to end up being behind. So, all right. So we got this and this, and this, and this. Boom, boom, and boom. There we go. And now we're putting our inverted wedges on. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 right here. There we go. Now, yeah, so far, and we're kind of getting up to the very end of our pieces here. So, it's all bag 1. Checking my time. Ooh, it's almost been 2 hours, and it's just been bag 1. We might actually, to be quite honest, I might have to break this up into a kind of a bag each time, because I have a feeling, because I do have something that's going on too, so we might be able to go a little bit longer, but I do have to be off a little bit earlier today than I normally would, which is kind of why I started earlier. So I will go ahead and say, hey, thank you all for showing up today. I do appreciate it. I like that you came up to see me and chat with me about, you know, building blocks and bricks and things like that. It really does make me feel wanted right now. I do appreciate that quite a bit. All right, so 1, 2 of these 1x1s. Got 1, 2 of these 1x2 jumper plates. Again, jumper plates are basically a tile that has one stud on it. So if it's a 1x2, a jumper plate is going to be in between where the studs normally go. That's your one stud. It's going to jump a small space over for you. So we got jumper plates. And let's see where we're going with this. So it looks like this is going to go on the end of here. So 1 and 2. They have it highlighted in red. Honestly, they probably would have done better highlighting it in green. 1, 2, and then we've got our jumper plates here and here. And what's cool about jumper plates is that we used jumper plates back here to shift everything. So now, let's get that off there. I have to use a tool for it. I can't use my fingers apparently. So now when we do our jumper plates here, it should line up with these over here. Now I am hoping that there's something to reinforce these at some point to hold those down, because every time I reach here, these are popping off. Okay, so we've got this portion built. Now we're on our next part. So 2 of these 1x2 round plates. We need 1 1x3 and 2 of these they're 1x5s with, it's technically a 1x5 rounded plate with a Technic crossbar hole in it. So let's see how we're doing this. We're going to be going one of these across here. So we're solidifying and hardening up this area here. Boom, boom. And then we're going to be going 1 and 2. And then we're going to go 1 here and 2 here. Okay. All right. I'm looking to see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Looks like I'm good. All right. Hey, Brick Guy, what's happening? I'm kind of hitting almost to the end. How are you doing today? 1 and 2, and then 2 of these Technic pins. All right. So we're going to be putting our Technic pins in here, and these are our Technic T-bricks. So they're coming up. They look like a little upside down T, you could say like that, but it's basically a plate with a 1x2 Technic bar system that comes up. So we're putting one looking right here, and then the other one is going to go right here. I think we got to go back further. Are we able to go back further? No. So it does line up with the end of those. Boom and boom. Okay. And again, I keep knocking those off. That probably should have had something else, but I know that they want that design in with the portion of these coming off and that flexing back. But there probably should have been something to reinforce that particular hold a little bit more. All right, let's see. Just checking over there. It looks like we're good over there. Now we need 2 of our Technic little pin pieces, 1, 2 of our number 3 bar or plates, and then 2 of our number 4 bars with the stopper on it, and 1, 2 of these. Man, and we're just left with a few bits and pieces. That's pretty cool. So it looks like we got all that set. So we're going to take this, going to put this onto here, 1 and 2. Do the same thing, 1 and 2. We're going to put our bar through here, and then our little sleeve. Boom. Another bar through here, and a little sleeve. And this is going to be for our wheels in the back. All right. And we're going to set that here. Boom. Feels pretty solid. So I think if this has a lot of weight sitting on it, the way that they've designed that, it should hold that fairly well. And free rolling wheels, which I like. So far we got free rolling wheels in the back. We've got the pieces up here that are technically free rolling because of the way that they use the stem and bar. And we've got this. It's going to allow us to have our wheels turning. I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see. So bag number 2. And I'm going to kind of look through real quick because I know that there's quite a bit to bag number 2. Yeah, that's probably going to take us longer than expected. So, you know what? I might be breaking this up into multiple days. Oh, but this is going to be the fun part. Look. Now, oh, it does look like we're covering the area with the axle. That kind of kills me. I wish we weren't. But we're also going to have another bar system that's going to, I think, move with the wheels. And then we're using macaroni pieces to build a whole bunch of pipes, which I think is awesome. Nice. So we are building, that's in bag through, we're building all the pipes. I kind of wonder at this point if they're making it to where this section is hinged or if it's just going to sit on there. I'm looking here. it's gonna pin on. Okay, so it's got, looks like one connection where it's gonna pin over onto the build itself and hold on. So you can pull these sections off based off of one pin on each side. And then you've got, looks like a little, it almost looks like a stack of, it's like a dome, and then 1x2 round plates that looks like it's creating the head that you can turn. Might be cool down the road to replace that so it looks more like a head that you can actually turn, someone that's in the actual car, the F1 car. Yeah, that's gonna be quite a bit. So number two does have quite a bit of work to it, and I know that I got to take my kid to this party. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say I'm gonna call it in 10 minutes. We'll talk so far about this. So just things to go over as far as the build itself. If you're wanting more info about it, you can go to my bio. In my bio on every channel, I have links back to my link tree that talks about, what I do here, has links to all my channels, TikTok, and all my others as well. So that way you can kind of go and find me on all those different platforms. Definitely go follow me on those platforms. A lot of what I post on one is going to be the same on the other. Those sorts of things, I do that with a little bit of changes here and there just to vary up the content, but also to make it to where if you're following on one, you'll find that it's kind of the same thing on the other. My lives are a little bit different. My lives on TikTok versus others are, the formats are a little bit different. I haven't figured out how to get it to where everything has the same format, but I will say that it's going to be the same content from one to the other. So definitely, if you haven't subscribed and follow me on one, Go hit up the others and find me on there. On my YT platform, I do a lot of reviews of these sets as well as live builds there. So I have live builds where you can engage with me on those platforms, but I also have it where you can engage with me on TikTok as well. So those are constantly going on. A lot of these sets, after I'm done, I do take them and actually review them. I kind of put the rigor, see what's good, what's not, talk about it, and kind of get you what you need. Hey, Freddie, what's up? So that way, you can figure out, hey, is this set any good? Is it not? My goal doing this stuff as far as like toys, and I don't do just like toys itself. I also have action figures, but my goal with this is to be able to look at this stuff and build it, play with it, review it, and let you know, is it worth it or not? Is there deals out there that you can get it for a really good price? Not. Sometimes I find deals that are really good pricing on TikTok. Sometimes I find it on the LEX. Those areas, like on my channels, that's what I like to do, is look at them, find out what's good, what's not, review them, and let you know. Because for me, being someone who has to be on a budget, and I don't have all the money in the world, so like, you know, for me to be able to get Mecha Team Leader from Lego, unless I get birthday money or Christmas money, it's not going to happen for me. $250 is quite a bit. Even me right now on Lumabricks, I love my Lumabricks, but I haven't been able to afford some of their sets because they are up in price, and I have to have that extra money for it. So there was a golden time when I was getting lots of little extra money here and there. Not so much anymore, so I kind of have to be very careful with my money because I'm poor, man. I'm poor. I don't have all that. I thought about like reselling sets. I know PB Brick or PJ Bricks, buddy of mine on here. He does. If you haven't followed him, he's got really good content as well. But I know him and Papa, or maybe it's Papa. I can't remember who. I know someone's doing. They are doing brick rentals where they're renting out sets, so you get the experience of building, but you don't have to hold on to them. Pay a little bit of money, rent it, send it back, whatever you want. I think it's a cool concept. It's something I could probably get behind and check out and see how that would work. So that might be something I'm looking into as well. So I'll probably reach out to him and get more info on that as far as like how to do brick rental, things like that. But there are things out there and available for brick builders that we can still get the experience of building and not have to purchase anything. For me on my end, I'm all about like building on a budget, buying on a budget, and seeing what works and what doesn't work. So a lot of the alternative brands are things that I'm looking into to kind of get us set up and get us, what we need. So, yeah. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Got anything for me? Let me know before I go. I got about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to be heading out. And yeah, I know. So, Ultimate Reaper, I haven't heard from you in a while. Hope you're doing good. Kobe, I hadn't heard from you in a while. I'm hoping you're good and you're still on here. I know Stars Freddy, you just joined. How are you doing? You doing okay? Hopefully you're being blessed right now in your life. I'm hoping so. It's been kind of a wild month. This week has been wild. Between the news, between stuff going on out there in the world, my work has been wild. There's testing right now going on in Texas for the kids. My kids' school has been wild. Kids seem to be just kind of like off out in their own world, doing their own thing. There's a lot of things going on. It just doesn't feel like normal anymore. And so, hopefully this kind of brings a little bit of that normal home. I'm hoping. We'll see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. You'll be alerted anything comes from me to you on whatever platform you're on. Make sure you like that stuff. It helps the algorithms know that you're liking what's being created, put out there for you. And I do appreciate all the likes, gifts, any of that stuff, comments. I love interacting with you all. So if you got questions, you need to understand how to do something, hit me up. If I don't know, I'll find someone in the AFOL community or the toy community that does know. So that way we can get you what you need. I need to restructure some of my channels to make sure that who I follow kind of goes out there so people can see what would be, who has some of the best info out there, sort of thing. But like I said, my goal is to take this moment and make these things available for you to look at to see, hey, what's good, what's not good, what's worthwhile, what's worth the budget and money, what's not. And so I'm hoping that this message hits you all and helps you all being a better collector and toy person. So that's it. And then every once in a while I'll throw in some gospel stuff in there. Why? Because I love Jesus. Look, I love Jesus so much. I made a sign that says Jesus. It's got hearts all over it. So yeah, that's where I'm at on that. So still new. I don't know everything, but I can look it up. I could definitely send you to someone who is much better equipped than I am. So if you got questions, you want to know things, hit me up. Let me know, okay? Hey, that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave it at that, right? Yeah, definitely check out my bio, my link tree. This is listed in there, so that way you can look at it, see pricing on it. Pricing's pretty good. I get little commissions on there here and there. It's not a lot, but every little bit definitely helps and helps keeps the lights on, okay? So with that, let me go over here and fix this over here on this channel. Find it. There we go. All right. So, hey, how do I put this? Oh, yeah. Hey, I love you all. Jesus loves you more. There's nothing you can do about it. Good luck with the build, and happy brick hunting. See you later.